Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bear's Workshop. I am back, and we are going to show the 260th Flyover. And I am glad to be back because I think I missed you guys. I have a little bit of withdrawals while sitting in the middle of the Caribbean going, wow, what are these guys doing? How are they even spying and stalking on Nikola and Lucid? So I rushed back, and here I am for you guys. All right, we're going to stall a little bit, give some other guys a little bit of time to get on, because probably no one was expecting me to be back so soon. Yes, I know it's been 2 weeks. So we will stall, and we will take a look at the stock price and see what it looks like. Here we go. And wait for more people to get on. But before we do that, I want to say thank you to JJ, who says the return of the king, and left me a super chat. I appreciate that. If that's what I got to do to get super chats, leave and then come back, maybe then that's what we'll do. We're going to have to go later on that. I swear I did that this morning. All right, so Nikola closed at 266, was down 5 cents off of yesterday, which was closed at 271. Got up to a whopping 273 and down as low as 255. So just enough for you people to swap out 10,000 and make $1,000 on that if you'd like, or $1,000 plus if you bought it back. So that's where they're sitting today. They were one of the few ones that were down today, though it wasn't down by much. Tesla was up 8.19. Lucid was up 16 cents, and Polestar was also up 12 cents. So quite a few ups, and just Nikola being down, but I don't think there is any particular reason for that. Let's see if we can get my watch list I want up there. There we go. Electromechanica was down 7 cents, which is quite a bit because that's a $1.07 stock. Don't know why. There was nothing in the news for them. I can tell you when I go past their place, we got a lot of little of those solos sitting inside that factory. I think they are starting to ramp up, and we're going to see what comes out of that company also. So I know what you guys are really here for. I say it all the time. You're here for the video, and let's get that started. All right. I'm glad I got all those welcome backs and things. I appreciate you guys saying that. Got quite a few messages from you guys wondering. Some people didn't know I was going to be away, and was wondering if I quit doing this. No, we didn't quit doing this. Not yet. No, just teasing. But there's our regular recap and our progress that we're seeing on the ground. That was January. That was about a year ago. And we're going to see where we are today, just over a year later. I'll tell you what, one thing that we are going to see, there was more trucks out there. And then there's rumors. I'm going to actually, let's see here. I can't do that. I don't have that picture handy, but we saw a picture. I think I have it on my phone. Let's see. Here we go. We're coming in from the southeast corner on the well site. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this over without compromising everything. Here, hold on a second. Let's stop this, switch the screens. I don't want to put up the information that I'm not supposed to. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I'm going to find that picture and get it up. Just give me a second, guys. I know there was talk of the picture of a 40 trucks, Nikola trucks, in a rail yard, and I'm going to slide that on over. So hold on a second. All right, that's the picture that I got. I can't tell if there's 40 there or not. Can we zoom in on that a bit? Well, in this picture, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and they start to blend together. So, oh wait, you guys can't see it. That's horrible. Here we go. Let's try this again. All right, there we go. So I was counting from here and counting each rail, got up to about 20 around there before they're all blending together. And that is the picture of supposed 40 trucks sitting in a rail yard in Texas. Don't know where they're going. Don't know where they've been. But that came out a couple of days ago while I was away. Goodfellas wants to know when's the next Lucid footage. Shortly. It's coming up probably about an hour or two after this video. It is on the other computer compiling right now. So that is a real thing that is happening. Michael is so silent about everything. He canceled the driving change series. Well, if that came out like on a weekly basis, that would be pretty cool. It was a little bit on the sporadic side. Now we can see the walls on the east side are almost complete. We can see the walls for the utility building over yonder. Those are done. It looks like a roof, but I can't tell yet because I'm not close enough. No, the roof is not on there yet. Yep, they've got some beams that they got to throw across that, and then put a little bit of a roof on that. Mario wants to know what I think of plug. I don't really have much of an opinion of my. If I let's see, if I don't have an opinion on anything, I'm not going to make anything up. Sorry about the unmuted phone there, guys. You know, I just got back. I kind of forgot what I'm supposed to be doing. Here's the second utility room, and you see the walls are about halfway up or 3/4 of the way up, but they're getting up there. So that will be done shortly also. JJ says, have you heard the irony of the Tesla fans cheering their semi-factory and it's not even the size of Nikola 0.5? That's, well, I don't know what the size of that semi-factory is. And honestly, it doesn't need to be, the factory doesn't need that big for pretty much a single drivetrain place. And that's not their final factory either for the semi. When they start mass producing that, they are going to be in a larger building. But that's just something to get something rolling out so that they can say that they're actually producing it, so they can check that off the box for 2023, which was to start production of the semi. And so now that that's done, it doesn't matter how few they make, because you know what? We still don't know the price of that thing. So when it's just something to get done, like I said. We've got some more testing on the test track. I did see a picture, I think it was from Mr. Bogues, or was it? I saw a picture stating that each one of those blocks are 4,000 pounds. Still don't know if those are the exact same block sizes, but if they are 4,000, we are probably looking at 10 of them right here. Let's take a look. Oh, we're going to have to zoom into that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. So that would be 40,000 pounds on that. And that is an FCEV. John's Touchpad, how much does the Nikola weigh? Don't know the weight. Don't know the exact weight. There's been talk of the BEV weighing about 27,000 pounds. And the weight of the fuel cell is unknown. I am guessing that the fuel cell is going to be lighter since there are 7 less battery packs, but then there is also all the fuel cell equipment itself, so that can vary. Tyler says he doesn't understand why Tesla's even building I assume you mean Semi. They should focus on the passenger vehicles and robots. I believe ARK is right when they say Tesla can reach $4,600 per share. I don't disagree with that. I think, I'm sure it's going to split if it ever got that high, split many times. But I think they're working on the Semi because they are trying to hit different areas. And the whole issue was that they came out with the Semi, they wanted to get into other markets, and now that they've committed to producing it and the drag on not putting out the vehicles on time has become quite a bit on the stock. So Cybertruck's late, the Roadster's late, the $25,000 car, which probably will never happen, that's going to be later than planned. The Robotaxi is going to be later than planned. FSD's later than planned. So let's get a win in the checkbox. So that's why they're coming out with that. Mr. Bogue says $29,300 for the tray, for the BEV. I assume he means we don't have a wait for the fuel cell, and we don't have a wait for the Tesla Semi either. Zip Zero Zilch, I had an amazing charge session today. A full charge from 30 to 100% in 65 minutes at 348 kilowatts in 18-degree weather. What were you charging? That's what I want to know. I am a little curious. I've talked over what we just saw here. I just want to point out we've got the row of trucks here. We've got a couple over here. We've got a bunch missing from here because at one point this whole area was filled up, just about every one of these spots. Then they opened this up to get access probably to these weird things that I keep forgetting what they are, but waste management, soil, I don't know I forget. I was told, and it just doesn't stay in this little brain. A lot of these trucks over here, if you see this line in the back, those are new trucks. A lot of these are newly built within the last few weeks. So these were not moved from over here. They are new trucks. Charles Bittman says Sandy drove the pre-production trays. Yes, he did. He drove the fuel cell, and I believe he drove a BEV, did some burnouts with it. Doesn't the state DMVs have to know the weight? That is true. They should need to know that, and I don't know if you can get exceptions for that if you are... Well, no, they would have to know it, unless they're not actually shipping chips and soda. Why won't Tesla let Sandy Monroe test drive a Semi? That's a good question. That is a good question. Here we see another one of the trailers. Let's just go back on that just a second, because this is a different one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is 10 also. So that'd be 40,000 pounds plus the trailer, 10,000 pounds, give or take, and then the truck itself, which is 29,000 pounds. That's sitting at 80,000 right there. So that kind of makes sense when this one also has 10 blocks on it, 40,000 pounds. So yep, and one of those was a BEV. I didn't even see the first one. All right, parked on that side that you can't see. Oh wait, we've got just a regular enclosed trailer right there. Right there we've got an enclosed trailer on what looks like a BEV with a McKinney trailer on it. Honda Den says he's holding, not adding to my Nikola position. Continue added Tesla under 200. Zip Zero Zilch. It was a tray. Okay. So where were you charging at? Was that in Electrify America? I think you had mentioned yesterday about finding a It's difficult to find a charging station where the truck can fit. You had mentioned that on the live stream yesterday, I believe. Zip Zero Zilch. And do you own this truck? Or, hey, tell us some more information, Mr. Zip Zero Zilch. Have we seen any BEVs leave the site since last video? I did not do a side-by-side comparison. There is a lot of things going on there. We've got a lot of new trucks there, and it seems like there's less trucks in the other area with older numbers on it. Over here, just wanted to show you guys a quick something. This was the area that last I looked, there was no structure here, and there was no concrete either. And the rumor is that this is some sort of electrical substation. Though this is definitely a building. We're going to zoom in on this. Looks like they got a door in. That looks like when I put up my workshop, I put the door up first before any of the paneling. Just makes you feel like you've accomplished something. Anyway, this is probably going to be an aluminum siding type of building. And then over here we have another concrete bunker. And these guys, where these guys are standing right here, this is like a ditch. And it's being lined. You guys can't see it. Let me move it over. Right here, you can see it better over here. This is a retention basin. So any water that's flowing onto this area over here is going to go down into this retention basin and be pushed away. You can see the large rock up here. This is oh geez, I just blanked out on the name. It's not riprap, but it's actually a rounded rock, so that water flows over it smoothly. And my mind blanked on it. All right. So whatever is actually coming up here is definitely coming along, though we know that there's going to be a lot of wiring. If you look over here, I'll zoom in again. All those are wire spools. So there's definitely going to be some serious wiring going on. All right, we're moving again. And you can see how this comes out here, goes along here, and then comes out over here. And I'm sure it's going to connect up to another one of their retention basins somewhere. It could come up here and then flow under that. I'm not sure. We'll see. River Rock. Thank you, John's Touchpad. Yeah, it's River Rock. Whew. Yeah, we had a train. Yeah. Not a long one either, but it was coming through. That's how close, in case you guys haven't seen it before, that is how close the train comes to the Nikola factory. So in the future, it is possible that a rail spur could be very easily installed and added to the rail line. Tyler wonders what the battery pack and module work research innovation group Nikola will be working on in Cyprus, now that the battery assembly will be moving to Coolidge. I don't know. Maybe part of the cost was a really high rent. Who knows? Now, I'm sure that wasn't it. You know what? I don't know what they're going to be doing there, but that's one of the big things I'm looking for on this earnings report is to hear that they've made really significant progress on their battery pack modules. The ones that they're, their whole Romeo fiasco. Down here, Hyla. That is the name of the new division of Nikola. I don't know if it's a division or it's its own separate company, but Hyla's HY stands for hydrogen. The LA is the back end of Nikola, so that's where we get Hyla. This is the trailer that will store hydrogen, and this is the machinery here that will pump the hydrogen and compress it to 700 bar, so that I believe that this is the machinery, or maybe this is, but these are this is the equipment for the mobile hydrogen charging stations. So this isn't any different than work sites that have a large fleet having diesel tanks and pumping them into their trailers. It's very common for fleets to store their own fuel on site and pump it as they need it. So I don't see this as any different. If this is actually able to produce the hydrogen and then store it in these containers, well, that kind of says a lot, because it would be self-contained for the most part. Just might need a power cord, a really, really fat power cord. Speaking of power cords, I heard that the power cord for the mega charger for the Tesla Semi is about the size of a soda can, like this big. If you can try and imagine taking a wire that has the diameter of a soda can and then plugging that in. And I'll tell you, the Electrify America charging stations, their cable is bigger than this, and that's big. Yeah, trust me, it's big. It's probably about a inch and a half diameter, and moving that cable around, even though it's a very short cable, I mean, I got muscles that I'm not going to show you, but it's like, this thing's heavy. I can't imagine like a small, fragile little lady trying to move that cable around with any great ease. So, if you're in a semi truck, I guess you got to be used to a little bit of heavy work. So with those mega chargers, that's something that's going to be necessary. Hopefully they can find a solution to make it lighter, or make it hanging from a spring-loaded cable so that you can move it around easier. That would be great. Honda Den, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Honda Den says, thanks, Bear, for the updates. Greatly appreciate your efforts capturing the images and discussing the footage. Mr. Bogues thinks everyone is going to be rich soon, because Nikola will soon be in the big leagues. Well, I would like to see them sell all those trucks. I was expecting them to start disappearing after the first of the year, so we will have to see what happens with that. James Coleman, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. No comment from James. You had a free comment there. And Zip Zero Zilch is one of the offsite testers. Zip Zero Zilch, do you work for Nikola, or are you testing for another company? That's my next question. JJ says, from what my wife says, thicker is better. Yeah, but you also could be like a tuna can, so maybe not. And James says, my withdrawals are satisfied. Tyler says the mega chargers are pretty cool. We all crap on Elon because Tesla is competing with Nikola, but he is incredible. I mean, the guy was chief engineer for the first successful SpaceX launch. I do not crap on Elon. I will not knock him. I may make a comment or two about certain things, but hey, I don't care if he's the richest guy in the world. It doesn't mean I have to agree with him on everything, but I'm generally impressed with the work that Tesla has done to push everyone in the direction that they're going right now. So I think it's overall been a big plus having a person like Elon doing what he's doing, because if it wasn't for Elon Musk, there would be no Nikola, because Trevor Milton was not going to be the one that was going to start this revolution. If anyone thinks that he was, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Stop Huffing Glue might be one of them. But anyway, we're following this train. You can see this train. That is, I think that is a car carrier, and can't see if there's any cars. Sometimes when you're on the ground level, you can kind of see through them. They're very small, but you can see whether or not there's cars on them. It is moving kind of slow, so maybe it is full. It was just getting up to speed. But we can thank all the people in California for putting the graffiti on the side of that train. Thanks, guys. That's probably where it's coming from. JJ says, the size of his semi, in caps, factory does leave a lot to be desired. Well, I've always said it's not the size of this factory that really matters. People have compared it to a Starbucks, a Walmart, an IKEA, a Home Depot, blah, blah, blah. But you don't need to build a 6 million square foot factory to build a semi. Honda Den says, like many other Tesla investors, I wish Elon would have bought a mining company instead of Twitter. And that's not a bad investment, but you know what? Tesla can buy a mining company if they actually thought that would be something that would bear fruit to actually own one. Tesla's got enough cash coming in, they would be able to raise enough money to buy a mining company themselves that you wouldn't want Elon Musk to actually own it. That would probably be some sort of conflict of interest. Uh, I'm not sure, but if he owned both companies and one's just selling to the other, I don't know. But Tesla themselves could buy the mining company. Maybe SpaceX would like to buy a nickel mining company to supply the nickel for their stainless steel. Just a thought. Daniel says he was an early investor in Tesla, and he's more interested in hydrogen and 3D printing. That'd be interesting if someone could speed up the process on 3D printing, and instead of doing a casting, they could 3D print something really fast. I think it would probably take a big effort though to have that actually work. Might be a long way off from that. Financial Trends wants to know what's new at Nikola. Oh, there's a lot more trucks, some more construction. They're getting things done at their slow pace for construction. But keep in mind, I've always said this: their pace of construction is set at what time they need that factory done. They don't need a big empty factory sitting there waiting for the fuel cell truck testing to be in production. It's in beta right now, and when it's finally in production, that's going to be around the same time that factory, that expansion is going to be done, and they'll be able to start putting in the equipment that they need. So they have not paid for an accelerated construction project. Lucid has, Tesla has. They have the need and the desire to get production up as quickly as possible. Though Lucid's getting the production there, they're just not getting the other part, deliveries. So that's something that they are going to have to work on. And this is the beginning of the flyover. Yes, I reset it. You could see there, that's right at the bottom of the screen. That's all the rubber membrane that goes up on the roof. You can see the skylights have been completely installed all the way down, and they are working on that rubber membrane. And I guess they're just taking what they need. So they haven't moved the trays. There is a bunch missing, and we showed a picture earlier of about 40 trays that are supposedly in a rail yard in Texas that are on their way somewhere else. We just don't know where. But they've also produced more trays, so we're hoping to see them disappear sooner than later. Financial Trend says that worries me that they haven't had much demand for them. So they have demand for them, but what they have is they're still working on the charging solutions, and I think a lot of these customers aren't ready to take delivery because they don't have a charging infrastructure or a setup ready yet. We still do have a lot of mobile charging trailers sitting there. Maybe that's not suitable for some of these customers, and they're waiting for something larger or more permanent to come out before they take delivery. They do have, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, it might have been about 900 orders for the BEV. And so it's just a matter of when are they going to deliver them. Honda Den says his grandfather was a machinist for the International Nickel Company during World War II and retired in the 70s. His stories had always reminded him to be aware of the importance of nickel, and Vale now owns the International Nickel Company. JJ, always so negative. Any news if the fuel cell launch event at the factory is still happening, or has Michael killed it? Don't be so negative. I haven't heard anything about it one way or the other. James says, with 40 trucks at the rail yard in Texas and 80 in stock at a newer dealer, Are they still producing the Tre BEV? And that is why we still see the number of trucks at the yard. Yes, I think the number may have increased a bit also. I haven't counted, but we've got a whole new row of 20 or 30 over there. So, and I do know that we've got new ones there. Just checking the numbers. I don't share the numbers on the VIN. Nikola's nice enough to leave them out there, but I leave them to announce their own truck delivery numbers and production numbers. That's not for me to do. They haven't asked me to not say anything. I'm just not. I only announce it or show them when Nikola has recently made an announcement that reflects those numbers. Tyler says, so if the charging infrastructure was set up, most or all of the Tre BEVs would be sold and delivered. More than likely, Nikola has made mention of that, the fact that customers are not ready to take delivery until they have that set up. And I believe if there was a place for them to charge them easily and quickly, that these would be ready to go. There was also some incentives that were waiting to be passed through, which were supposed to take place at the beginning of the year. So just to go over this for the latecomers, this area of trucks right here, some of this area was filled with trucks. At one point, this was almost a full two double rows. Now it's one and some small change. And all of these trucks over here are just about all these are new trucks. William says, can you comment on Rolls-Royce SMR reactors? They produce hydrogen. I cannot comment on them. I don't know anything about them. If I commented on them, it would be complete fibbery. I would be making things up. Mr. Bogue says, everyone stop worrying about the trucks not selling. The fact is we still don't actually have enough trucks to meet the actual demand. This he knows. JJ still wants people to go to the Hyla stations in California. Hyla mentioned that they would be up by the time Nikola Tre deliveries start. Now, Nikola Tre FCEV deliveries are probably not going to be happening until third quarter, possibly fourth. I couldn't say for sure. And if you see that light glare and the little bit of flashing, sometimes when we turn away from the sun, that happens with the drone camera. Please forgive us. It's the best we can do. There it goes again. Have any of the fuel cell gammas been built yet? Can't say that for sure. There have been a lot of the fuel cells built. They were supposed to make about 30, roughly 30 in the fourth quarter. So I have a feeling they probably met that target. And oh look, the Nikola tent. And right there, let's pause it right there. These, we believe, are the tanks. These are hydrogen tanks that go into the fuel cell trucks. So it looks like there's 4 on a pallet. So we have 4, 8, 12, possibly 16. Unless I'm looking at that wrong, and could that possibly be? No. Oh. There could be 6 on a pallet. Because you see how this is wrapped around there. Oh, yeah, there's 6. There is 6 on a pallet. We're going to have to take another closer look at that. But I'm definitely going with 6. Because you can see the ends. That looks like 3. And you can see the cord wrapped over. It goes between the first and second. And then this one goes between the second and third. So we got 6 times 4. We have 24 tanks right here. So that's enough to make another 12. I think there's 2. I think there's 2 tanks per fuel cell. Daniel says he believes that the hydrogen truck is more important. I agree with you on that. I think with the further range, it would definitely be more important. Price point is going to be kind of scary, though. I've heard rumors that this truck is going to be $1 million truck. And if it is, I don't see it I don't see it selling. I would be very disappointed. Wasn't a Trevor Milton case verdict at the end of January? Can someone help me to know the latest on it? Uh, I was on vacation and I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, there was supposed to be. It wasn't the verdict. It was the sentencing. So I'm not sure what happened to that. That's a good question. Because nothing came out. Otherwise, something would have happened. We would have heard about that. Let's see. Let's see when he got that pushed off to, because that's all he keeps doing. Delayed until June 21st. Ay, ay, ay. And he's free on a $100 million bond. He asked for a new trial in December, claiming juror misconduct, which we all know is nonsense. Well, let's see. Yeah. Why did they delay it? June 21st. Yeah. Well, that's the update. JJ wants to know when I'm getting a Hyla station poster. When you have one made for me and send it to me, I will put it up behind me. Promise. I'll have to rearrange everything so I have more of a background, because it would have to be about this big to fit over my head with all my other accessories. Daniel thinks the trucks out on the yard were pre-ordered. That's why none of them are at dealerships. There was some that went to the dealerships, and from what I heard it was not from that group. Yeah, James says if they're rolling trucks off the line 3 to 5 per day, that's 30 to 50 new trucks since the last flyover. It makes sense that we're not seeing a large reduction in trucks in the yard since the last flyby. It's true. They need to get them shipped out, though. Whoa! Just got hit by my microphone. It just came alive and hit me. I'm okay. You don't have to ask. If there's a shift to hydrogen, does plug power become even more important in this space? I think they actually do. They're very focused on hydrogen, so I definitely think that would be advantageous to them. Daniel says that he believes that hydrogen trucks have a longer lifespan than diesel and battery. It's very possible. Diesel motors obviously need to be rebuilt. Batteries do degrade and can have other issues over time. It doesn't necessarily mean that much, but let's see. It's what matters is because it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that much because we don't know how long a fuel cell is going to last. What's the lifespan of a fuel cell? Is it 1,000,000 miles? Is it 600,000 miles? So we don't have all the information to compare them yet. Let's see here. All right. So we're getting close to the end. So I do want to thank everyone for being here. You guys are always great. Nobody's fighting in the chat over silly things, and I appreciate that. This is obviously just the train, and we talked about it earlier. That's Hauser Road, and the work that they're doing on that to make that a little bit wider. I don't know if they made that wider. They just made it a little bit newer, it looks like. Yeah, they've definitely just about finished it. I think they've just got a couple more things on the side to do, but they've widened it over by Nikola. You can see that right here. Mr. Bogue says, "Where's Micah?" Well, he's not here. That's why everyone is so peaceful. Did you see that? Did you guys see that? All right. Watch closely on the left. Those birds were coming at the drone. It's not our closest call with a bird, but we had a bird. It's been almost 2 years, but the bird literally flew right in front of the drone and just flapped its wings, looked right at us, and we were several hundred feet in the air, and it it was quite remarkable. William asks, any comments on financial health for Nikola, likelihood of bankruptcy? I don't see them being close to bankruptcy. They always keep about 1 year's worth of cash on hand, either through their equity lines or other forms. So I don't think that they would be filing bankruptcy when you still have cash on hand, unless they ran into some massive problem, like maybe with the battery castings or something like that, that they could not solve. But of course, it would be solvable. So I'm not worried about that yet. I'm not worried about the stock price right now. The stock price can go down. I don't want it to go down, but I still think that they have a viable product. All right, we are going to wrap it up here. Chicago, next time you show up a little bit earlier, then we can ask you some questions, but we have to wrap it up just because of other things that have to happen. We need to get that Lucid video up, which will be done sooner than later, I promise. So I want to thank everyone for being here, the Patreons, the non-Patreons, the people who gave me super chats, which are Patreons. But I thank everyone for being here. We are going to hopefully be able to get a Lucid live stream in towards the end of the week, and then we will be back with that. So look for the Lucid video later, and everyone, thank you